From the ashes of despair, hope quietly rises, like a mythical phoenix reborn in flames. Every human faces moments when life feels like it's crumbling, yet within us lies a powerful force to endure, to heal, and to start anew. This journey isn't just about survival, it's about embracing our deepest resilience. In the chapters ahead, we'll explore how the animal kingdom holds clues to understanding this unbreakable human spirit. Life, in its unpredictable course, often plunges us into moments of profound emotional turmoil. Whether it's the sudden loss of a loved one, the collapse of a cherished dream, or the overwhelming weight of failure, these moments test the very core of our emotional being. Resilience, the remarkable ability to bounce back and rebuild, is not just a trait of a few exceptional people. It is, in fact, an innate human capacity, quietly present in all of us, waiting to be called upon when the storm hits hardest. Resilience is the emotional state that emerges when hope refuses to die, even when the path forward seems obscured by shadows. It is that subtle voice within that whispers, "You will rise again," despite all evidence to the contrary. We all experience despair, helplessness, and fear. These feelings are natural responses to loss and hardship. But resilience is the transformative spark that ignites in those dark moments, a force that shifts our focus from what has been lost to what can still be gained. Take, for example, a person who has just lost their job. At first, the emotional impact can be crushing, a mixture of shock, anxiety, and self-doubt. Thoughts swirl: what will I do now? Can I provide for my family? Am I a failure? These are common emotional reactions, felt by millions in similar circumstances. Yet, as days pass, many find a way to adapt, to seek new opportunities, or to retrain for a different path. This process is not linear or simple, it often involves setbacks, moments of relapse, and deep reflection. But it ultimately demonstrates the profound human ability to face adversity and emerge stronger. In our daily lives, resilience shows itself in countless subtle ways. It's the parent who finds the strength to care for their children despite financial hardship. It's the survivor of illness who embraces rehabilitation and life beyond diagnosis. It's the student who fails a critical exam but studies harder to succeed the next time. Resilience is not about the absence of pain or difficulty, it is about the presence of perseverance and hope. Psychologists often describe resilience as a dynamic process rather than a fixed trait. This means it can be developed and strengthened over time, much like a muscle. Key elements include optimism, emotional regulation, social support, and the ability to find meaning even in suffering. These elements weave together to create a foundation on which hope can stand firm, even when the world seems to be falling apart. What makes resilience even more fascinating is its paradoxical nature. It often arises most vividly after profound suffering. Like the phoenix rising from its ashes, humans have an astonishing capacity to rebuild themselves, not just to return to the old state but to transform into something new, wiser, and more compassionate. This rebirth is rarely spontaneous, it is cultivated through conscious effort, reflection, and sometimes through the influence of stories, symbols, and examples from the world around us. And this is where nature and the animal kingdom offer a mirror for our own emotional lives. Animals, too, face life-threatening challenges, losses, and changes, and their instinctive responses can teach us much about resilience. But before we explore that connection, it is vital to understand fully the emotional landscape in which human resilience lives, its fears, hopes, doubts, and triumphs. This emotional state is both universal and deeply personal, shaping our experiences and defining our responses to crisis. Understanding it more clearly will prepare us to see how the ancient symbol of the phoenix and its animal counterparts illuminate the path to recovery, renewal, and above all, hope. The phoenix is one of the most enduring and powerful symbols of resilience in human history. Though mythical, it embodies a truth that resonates deeply within us, the possibility of rising again, reborn from destruction. But beyond myth, the natural world offers real creatures whose lives and instincts mirror this story of rebirth and endurance, weaving a tapestry of survival that stretches across species and ecosystems. At the heart of this symbol is the bird. majestic, free, and often associated with transformation. The phoenix, according to legend, bursts into flames at the end of its life cycle and is reborn from its own ashes, glowing anew with fresh strength and vigor. This image captures our imagination because it speaks directly to the human spirit's ability to recover from devastation and begin again. Though no bird literally combusts and rises like the phoenix, several species in nature exhibit behaviors that echo this mythic cycle of renewal. Take, for example, the falcon, a bird known for its incredible adaptability and tenacity. Falcons are expert hunters, able to soar at dizzying heights and dive at breathtaking speeds to catch prey. But they are also survivors of harsh climates and fierce competition. When a falcon's feathers become worn, it undergoes a molting process, shedding old feathers and growing new ones, a subtle yet powerful metaphor for renewal and transformation. Similarly, the condor, soaring over mountainous regions, is a symbol of endurance and wisdom. Known for its long lifespan and ability to survive in some of the most challenging environments, the condor's life cycle includes periods of isolation and rest that prepare it for renewal. Its broad wingspan and soaring flight evoke freedom and strength, qualities that inspire those who face personal trials to keep moving forward, even when the path is steep and uncertain. Another bird often associated with renewal is the nightingale, whose song is celebrated as a symbol of hope and rebirth in poetry and folklore. The nightingale's melodious tune often rises in the darkest hours, reminding listeners that beauty and life persist even in the midst of darkness. Its presence is a natural metaphor for the human capacity to find hope and voice in difficult times. Beyond individual species, birds in general represent freedom, transcendence, and perspective. Their ability to navigate vast distances and adapt to changing environments reflects the resilience found in nature's designs. Birds face predators, harsh weather, scarcity of food, and other challenges yet continue their migrations and cycles of life, offering a living testament to endurance and renewal. These birds' instincts and behaviors serve as more than biological facts, they form a symbolic bridge that connects the mythical phoenix's fiery rebirth to the tangible, everyday struggles of survival in the wild. Their cycles of growth, adaptation, and sometimes isolation mirror the human emotional journey of facing adversity, enduring pain, and eventually emerging transformed. The habitats these birds occupy are often harsh and demanding, rugged mountains, arid deserts, or dense forests. Surviving and thriving in these places requires not only physical strength but a deep internal resilience. Their social dynamics also reflect survival strategies, from solitary hunting to community nesting, showing a balance between independence and connection that humans can relate to in their own struggles. As we visualize these birds, falcons molting feathers, condors soaring against the wind, nightingales singing through the night, we begin to see the living image of resilience in motion. The phoenix may be a creature of myth, but these animals embody its spirit in the real world, inspiring us to understand our own capacity for rebirth. In the next chapter, we will draw a direct connection between these animals' behaviors and the emotional resilience within us. We will see how, instinctively, humans echo the natural world's patterns of survival and renewal, and how this ancient bond can deepen our understanding of hope itself. At first glance, the mythical phoenix and the natural birds we've explored may seem like distant figures, one born of legend, the others of flesh and feather. Yet, when we look closer, the emotional journeys of humans and the survival instincts of these creatures mirror each other in profound and revealing ways. This connection isn't just poetic, it's a reflection of the fundamental rhythms that govern all living beings, including us. Humans, like the phoenix, endure cycles of destruction and renewal. When life overwhelms us, through loss, trauma, or failure, we experience an emotional burning, a kind of internal collapse where hope seems to flicker out. In these moments, much like the phoenix engulfed in flames, we are stripped down to our bare selves, vulnerable and raw. Yet this very destruction creates space for transformation. Just as the phoenix rises reborn, humans have the remarkable capacity to rebuild their emotional landscape, emerging not only intact but often stronger and wiser. This emotional process finds a living counterpart in the molting falcon. Just as the falcon sheds old feathers to grow new, humans shed outdated beliefs, fears, and pain during periods of recovery. The molt, though taxing, is necessary to restore the bird's ability to soar. Similarly, emotional renewal demands discomfort, patience, and courage, qualities we summon when letting go of what no longer serves us. The falcon's instinct to renew its feathers mirrors our own psychological need to refresh and heal. The condor's soaring flight also offers an apt metaphor. This bird navigates vast, difficult terrains by catching thermal currents, effortlessly rising above obstacles. Humans, too, find ways to rise above their problems, not by ignoring them, but by leveraging inner resources, hope, faith, determination, and external support from friends, family, or communities. The condor's expansive wings symbolize the breadth of perspective and strength we need to see beyond immediate struggles and envision a path forward. The nightingale's song in darkness is perhaps the most intimate parallel of all. When we face the night of despair or uncertainty, the nightingale's persistent, beautiful song reminds us that hope can be a quiet but powerful presence. It teaches us that resilience doesn't always roar. Sometimes, it whispers gently within us, encouraging us to keep going even when silence seems overwhelming. Like the nightingale's melody, our hope can be subtle yet transformative. This connection between human emotion and animal instinct reflects a shared evolutionary heritage. Both humans and animals respond to challenges through deeply embedded survival mechanisms, emotional and physical strategies honed over millennia. While humans add layers of consciousness, reflection, and meaning, the core pattern remains, a cycle of breakdown and recovery, loss and renewal. Our emotional resilience is, in a sense, an instinct as primal as the falcon's molt or the condor's flight. It is nature's way of preserving life, of ensuring survival beyond immediate crisis. Recognizing this kinship with the natural world can offer comfort and clarity. We are not isolated in our suffering or our hope, we are part of a vast network of life, all striving to endure and transcend. In practical terms, this means that when we feel broken, we are engaging in a natural, necessary process. The discomfort we feel, the emotional burning, is the precursor to growth. Just as the phoenix's fire cleanses, our emotional pain can clear the way for new possibilities. Like the falcon's feathers, our minds and hearts renew themselves, sometimes slowly, sometimes in bursts of insight and change. This metaphor also encourages empathy and patience. Understanding that resilience follows a natural rhythm helps us be gentler with ourselves and others. We learn to honor the process, accepting that renewal isn't instantaneous and that setbacks are part of the journey. As we move forward, this awareness can deepen our self-understanding and inspire us to harness the power within, just as these magnificent birds harness the winds to rise. The next chapter will explore the scientific foundations behind these connections, how biology and psychology explain the profound bond between our emotions and the animal instincts of survival and renewal. Behind the powerful symbols of the phoenix and the enduring behaviors of resilient birds lies a fascinating scientific foundation that helps explain why humans are capable of such profound emotional renewal. Our understanding of biology and psychology reveals that resilience isn't just a poetic idea, it's a tangible, measurable process rooted deeply in our brains and bodies, and it echoes the survival strategies observed in the animal kingdom. From a biological standpoint, resilience involves the brain's remarkable ability to adapt and reorganize itself after stress or trauma, a phenomenon known as neuroplasticity. When people face emotional hardship, loss, failure, or intense stress, their brains initially react with what might be called an emotional shutdown, similar to how a bird might temporarily retreat or shed feathers during molting. But over time, new neural pathways form, helping the individual recover and sometimes develop stronger coping mechanisms. This rewiring process is the brain's version of the phoenix rising, creating a new structure capable of handling future challenges better than before. Psychologists have identified several key factors that contribute to human resilience, including emotional regulation, optimism, and social support. Emotional regulation allows individuals to manage and respond to their feelings rather than be overwhelmed by them. This is akin to the condor's ability to soar by adjusting to changing air currents. Flexibility is vital to survival. Optimism fuels motivation and hope, similar to the nightingale's persistent song during dark times. Social support, meanwhile, reflects the importance of community, a critical factor for many animal survival and for humans to navigate emotional crises effectively. Research also highlights the role of stress hormones, such as cortisol, in resilience. While short-term stress can be harmful, moderate stress exposure can actually strengthen an individual's ability to cope, a concept known as stress inoculation. This mirrors the natural challenges birds face, whether extremes, predators, scarcity, that toughen them and prepare them for survival. In humans, this means that facing and overcoming difficulties, rather than avoiding them, can build emotional strength. On the biological side, birds' behaviors during molting or migration involve hormonal and physiological changes that ensure their survival and renewal. The molting process is triggered by environmental cues and hormonal shifts, causing old feathers to fall and new ones to grow, an intricate, energy-demanding transformation. Similarly, human bodies respond to psychological stress with hormonal changes that can influence mood, energy, and healing. Understanding these parallels underscores how resilience is deeply embedded in life's natural cycles. Studies in evolutionary psychology suggest that humans inherited resilience mechanisms from their ancestors to survive harsh environments and social challenges. This evolutionary legacy means that resilience is not an anomaly but a default human state, waiting to be activated. It's no coincidence that ancient cultures chose the phoenix as a symbol. Our ancestors intuitively grasped the natural rhythms of destruction and rebirth woven into our biology. Moreover, recent neuroscience points to the importance of mindfulness and self-compassion in fostering resilience. Practices that encourage awareness and kindness toward oneself help regulate the nervous system, reducing the chronic stress that impedes recovery. This conscious engagement with one's emotional state reflects a uniquely human ability to influence our biological processes intentionally, amplifying the natural instincts inherited from the animal world. In summary, the scientific lens reveals resilience as a complex interplay between brain plasticity, hormonal regulation, psychological strategies, and evolutionary biology. It's a natural, dynamic process supported by both our internal biology and external environment. The phoenix's legendary rebirth finds its echo in the brain's capacity to reorganize, in the falcon's molting feathers, and in the nightingale's hopeful song, grounded in facts as much as in myth. This scientific understanding empowers us to recognize resilience not as an elusive trait but as a skill and biological process that can be nurtured and strengthened. It reassures us that emotional recovery is within reach, no matter how deep the flames of adversity burn. In the next chapter, we will explore real-life examples that bring these concepts to life, illustrating how human resilience and animal instincts unfold in everyday moments. Resilience isn't just a concept found in textbooks or myths, it lives and breathes in everyday human experiences. Just as the phoenix rises and birds renew themselves, people around the world face challenges, endure emotional fires, and emerge renewed. Let's explore some stories that show how this deep, instinctive process unfolds in real life. Consider Sarah, a single mother who lost her job unexpectedly during a financial crisis. At first, her world seemed to crumble. Her confidence, like the falcon's old feathers, felt tattered and worn. But Sarah, much like the phoenix, refused to let her spirit die. She spent nights reflecting on her skills, seeking support from her community, and applying for new opportunities. Like the falcon molting, Sarah shed the fear that had held her back, embracing change. Eventually, she found a better job that matched her passions, soaring higher than before. Then there is Carlos, a man who endured the painful loss of a loved one. In his darkest hours, his emotional world resembled the nightingale's night, silent, somber, yet filled with an undercurrent of hope. Carlos began journaling and sharing his grief with close friends, allowing himself to sing his own quiet song of healing. Over time, this persistent expression helped him regain balance, just as the nightingale's melody breaks the silence, reminding us that even in despair, hope persists. Another example is Emma, a young entrepreneur whose first business failed after months of hard work. Her initial reaction was defeat, an emotional storm threatening to consume her. But Emma learned to adapt, embracing the lessons from her failure as the condor catches thermal currents, using setbacks as lift to rise again. With renewed insight and determination, she launched a new venture that thrived, demonstrating how resilience can transform loss into opportunity. These stories echo a common theme: resilience involves cycles of breaking down and rebuilding, much like the biological processes we see in nature. Just as the falcon's feathers grow back after molting, humans rebuild their confidence and hope after emotional trials. This process is rarely linear, setbacks may occur, but the instinct to survive and thrive pushes individuals forward. In a workplace setting, resilience can manifest in smaller, everyday ways. Imagine John, who faced repeated criticism at work. Instead of giving in to frustration, John used feedback as a tool to refine his skills, much like a bird adjusting its flight path to changing winds. His emotional flexibility allowed him to improve and eventually earn respect from colleagues. Similarly, in relationships, resilience is often about patience and persistence. Maria and Luis, a couple facing serious communication challenges, sought therapy and practiced empathy. Their willingness to face difficult emotions and rebuild trust mirrors the natural cycles of renewal seen in animal behavior, both partners growing and adapting together. These real-life examples underscore that resilience is not about invulnerability but about persistence and adaptability. It is about recognizing that emotional pain and recovery are intertwined and that renewal is possible, even when hope feels distant. These behavioral examples show that humans, like animals, rely on both instinct and conscious effort to overcome adversity. The natural world's rhythms offer a blueprint for our emotional lives, reminding us that we are part of a larger, shared process of survival and growth. As we reflect on these stories, it becomes clear that resilience is accessible to all, woven into the fabric of our being and daily choices. Understanding this empowers us to face our own challenges with courage and compassion. In the final chapter, we will explore the deeper lessons and reflections drawn from these parallels, offering inspiration for nurturing resilience in ourselves and others. As we reach the final chapter of this journey, it's time to pause and reflect on the profound lessons that the phoenix's story and its natural animal counterparts offer us. Resilience is more than a moment of recovery, it is a lifelong dance between destruction and renewal, pain and hope, despair and strength. The first and most essential lesson is that resilience is a natural part of being human. It is not a rare superpower reserved for a select few but a fundamental capacity embedded within each of us. Just as the phoenix rises from ashes without choosing to, our minds and bodies are wired to heal and grow after hardship. This understanding should inspire compassion toward ourselves in moments of weakness and frustration, knowing that setbacks are not failures but integral steps in the process of becoming stronger. Secondly, the stories and science we explored remind us that resilience requires both patience and action. The phoenix's rebirth is not instantaneous. It takes time for the flames to die down and the new life to emerge. Similarly, human healing unfolds gradually. This means allowing ourselves to feel pain without rushing the process or suppressing emotions. At the same time, resilience is not passive acceptance but an active engagement, seeking support, learning new skills, and embracing change. Like birds adjusting their flight or molting feathers, resilience involves a delicate balance of surrender and effort. Another powerful insight is the value of community and connection. Humans are inherently social creatures, and our strength often comes from shared support and empathy. The phoenix's myth may be solitary, but real resilience flourishes in relationships, family, friends, mentors, who help us rebuild and believe in ourselves. Recognizing this invites us to nurture our bonds and to be sources of resilience for others, creating circles of mutual healing. We also learn that resilience is a deeply personal journey, shaped by individual history, personality, and context. No two phoenixes rise in exactly the same way, and neither do humans. Some may find solace in solitude and reflection, others in action and change. Embracing this diversity prevents self-judgment and opens doors to varied paths of recovery. Lastly, understanding the biological and psychological roots of resilience empowers us to cultivate it consciously. Practices like mindfulness, self-compassion, and reframing challenges as opportunities are tools that amplify our innate capacity to bounce back. This knowledge transforms resilience from a mysterious force into a skill that can be strengthened over time. As we close this exploration, remember that every person carries within them an inner phoenix. A symbol of hope, strength, and renewal. Life's fires may burn fiercely, but they can also forge a new and brighter self. By embracing this truth, we not only survive adversity, we transcend it. May this awareness inspire you to face your own challenges with courage and kindness, to trust in the process of renewal, and to rise, again and again, like the phoenix from your own ashes.